Welcome to Grand Tactician The Civil War. This is our 1862 Confederate States of America campaign. We are at May the 21st, 1862, and I've just loaded the game back in so we can continue our campaign in episode 10. Alright, so when I loaded the game back in, when we left off the last episode, the end of episode 9, we were engaged down here. D.H. Hill has come into contact with the Union Corps, I think it was the Coast Division or something like that, Ambrose Burnside's force. However, when I've loaded the game in, they've decided not to engage at all, and they've just pulled out. I mean, sometimes it does that in this game. It's pretty annoying, but we're not going to see a battle here after all, which is disappointing because I was looking forward to fighting this kind of 10,000 versus 15,000. But screw it, so they're pulling out of there, as you can see. So what I've done, I've just paused it. I've done a little bit of reorganization. People are asking us about, am I going to make the Virginia forces into 3 corps? Well, yeah, I will, but not at the moment. I think it's quite handy being able to spread your troops out a little bit at this stage. But I will adopt a 3 or 4 corps system, probably 3 infantry corps, 1 cavalry corps, something like that. But not at the moment. I'd like to unlock organization reform first, which we're getting close on. So once that's done, we will probably run with 3 or 4 corps in Virginia. I have reorganized the forces in Tennessee and Mississippi, though. So I've reorganized those guys. We'll have a quick look at those dudes. I'm just going to pause the game while I'm doing that, obviously. So we'll have a quick look here. I've condensed these guys down into 3 infantry corps and 1 cavalry corps. I would like to use these guys for some raiding behind the lines, causing some trouble if we can. So this is under Charles Field, Wheeler's division. There's only 2,500 of them at the moment, but we are recruiting some more troops in the way of cavalry. Let's just have a quick look, and I'll go through some of the other changes I've made between episodes. There's a bit more goes into these games than is shown on camera, of course. I have to do a little bit of behind the scenes things. So the Mississippi district, I'm recruiting quite a bit of cavalry in here. We've got 2 brigades of cavalry, including a viewer requested unit, the Freiwillige Brigade Hannover, which is basically the Hanover Volunteers. I do speak a little German, which surprises some people. I actually grew up in Germany, in North Germany, not far from Hanover, which is just a coincidence. We've also got Forney's Brigade, and we've got some more horse artillery as well. So this is going to form a 2nd division in that cavalry corps. And that'll be a substantial cavalry force to send out. So somewhere around 6,000 men, I would guess. We're 6,000, something like that. But anyway, a substantial cavalry force to send out. We're also recruiting this Kentucky division, which I'm going to move out into one of the other armies. I'm not sure which one yet or which corps. But anyway, back to this organization. So what have I done here? I hate how it puts its garrisons back on as well. Let's just get back to the army of Tennessee. So we've still got Albert Sidney Johnson in charge, of course. He's going to stay there for as long as possible because he's a pretty damn good commander, as we can see from his stats. The 1st Corps here is under Maxie Gregg, who's, again, he's a decent commander. He's pretty solid across the board, and I'm sure he'll get better. He has got 3 infantry divisions and 1 artillery division under his command. No cavalry attached. All the cavalry is in our cavalry corps. I think it's fine for now, but I may end up adding a brigade of cavalry to each of these corps. So if one comes into contact with an enemy force, they have at least got some cavalry, if they're by themselves. But on the whole, I mean, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of using cavalry. Not anything against cavalry per se, it's just I find them a bit hard to control. I don't find them very useful in this game beyond scouting and flanking, but they break far too quickly. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. Anyway, the 1st Corps, Maxie Gregg, Ruggles Division, Withers Division, Claiborne's Division, and then some artillery under Saunders. It's all 3 of the infantry corps are roughly the same size, so 16,400 men here. The 2nd Corps is under Hardy. They've absorbed these 2 divisions from Polk's old corps. Polk is just in the nether now. I'll give him a command somewhere, but I'm not sure where exactly. Because much as people don't like Polk historically, I don't like him either. I think he was a poor commander. It doesn't really matter that much in game, and he's all right. His stats are mid-low range, but he's fine to command a division or something like that, or a corps somewhere, which is not quite as important as this area. Anyway, so it's Hardy's corps here with 15,900 men. So like I say, roughly the same sort of size. 62 guns for Gregg's corps and 16,500 men. Hardy's corps just under 16,000 with 52 guns. But of course, these guys are going to be transferring in there. A couple of days for them to get there. Cheatham's division, Clark's division. Then we've also got Pettigrew's division and Hindman's division. So they're the division commanders, backed up by French's artillery. Then we have Field's small cavalry corps. We've already had a quick look at them. Wheeler's division there. 3 brigades of cavalry. So these smaller units, maybe I might attach these to 2 of the corps, so they have some cavalry directly under them. Van Dorn is in charge of the 3rd Corps. This was the Western Army. I've just attached them to the Army of Tennessee as the 3rd Corps. It makes more sense. Van Dorn's looking pretty solid as well, and he's actually got a cavalry division with him, which is fine. So I mean, it's handy to have some cavalry, like I say. What's he got? He's got Sterling Price's division, Maury's division there, some artillery under Jones, then Lomax's cavalry, and Breckinridge's small infantry division. So we're going to probably boost this up a little bit with an extra brigade. We'll see what goes on. Hardy could probably do with an extra brigade of infantry as well. But I'm going to let these boys recruit in. We're going to let that run for a little bit, and I'm hoping we're going to see combat over here. So we left off the last episode. We lost this fight against the Army of the Southwest. You know, I mean, it was a hard fight. Lovell was outnumbered. We were in a bit of a tight spot, but we do have Beauregard and his newly raised Army of Arkansas moving in towards Little Rock. So hopefully, I'm hoping we can take these guys out before they manage to capture our depot, which they haven't done yet, and they're still in the process of capturing Little Rock. So if we can give them a bloody nose here, if Beauregard can take him out, that would be nice. We'll have a quick look at Beauregard here. He's not got a huge army, but he's got decent stats, so he's a good commander. You know, he's experienced. He is experienced. So I've done a little bit of shifting around here after a request from a regular viewer who's always keen to see the native troops in the field. So I've given this cavalry division, I've called it the Indian Territory Cavalry Division, IT Cavalry Division, not as in computers. And that's under Stan Waity now. And now we've got Pike's Indian Brigade and Tandy Walker's brigade there, as well as backed up by some guns under Claudius W. Sears. He is actually an infantry commander, but I don't think we've got anybody else decent to put in charge there. Nobody really came up, I don't think. Let's have a look. That guy, he's also an infantry commander, so very similar. Too good. Yeah, Nichols, I mean, he is a artillery commander, but I don't really want to use him in the Trans-Mississippi. I'm sure we can come up with somewhere better for Nichols. Just like, I mean, the Trans-Mississippi Theatre is kind of a sideshow at this point, but I mean, not really, because it's still important, and we don't want to lose territory if we can help it. Finances were BBB plus, not good. What are we working towards in the term of policies? I can't actually remember. Oh yeah, diplomacy 2, and then following that, I think we're going to move on to government funding 2 as well, to see if we can fix this money crisis we've got going on, as well as the manpower crisis we have happening as well. We've got, like, it's all sorts of stuff going on. All sorts of problems. Always problems. Our fleet has lost an engagement up here, but they seem to have held firm there, which is strange because we definitely lost that battle. I'm going to pull them back towards Memphis. The Union troops are regrouping up here near to Cairo, Illinois. But they've got a substantial army there, so I mean, yeah, it's difficult. Let's get started and see where this episode takes us. But yeah, like I say, the engagement here is disappointing. These guys, I mean, in the previous, when I left it off saved, I should have moved it into the battle, but I didn't. And when you don't move it in the battle, it kind of refigures itself, and these guys are just pulling out. I don't know where they're going to go, but there's a substantial force heading west. You know, strange. They've got troops up here in the north of the valley as well. We fought a battle at the southern end of the valley, which went very well. I'm going to have a quick look, see if we've got any brigades that we can recruit into this force here, but I mean, we haven't really. Some troops from Missouri available, a bunch from North Carolina. I always like to keep the Carolinas like with a few extra troops in case I ever need to call on them. Like as in need to. So we've got 5,600 volunteers left in North Carolina and 2,600 in South Carolina. I'm going to leave them there, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Bragg is fighting at New Bern. Magruder's fighting at Fort Monroe. So there we go. We've got contact here at Little Rock. So it's Beauregard. He's going to take on Curtis. Curtis kicked our butt last time. Numbers wise, we do have the numbers this time at least, but weapons wise, it's really poor weapons out here. We've only got 19 guns, but that's more than we had last time. Let's see how this battle goes. It's going to be an interesting one, I hope. Let's get straight to it. Another fight at Little Rock. Question is, can we get our revenge this time? It'd be nice if we could defeat this Union army in Arkansas and send them packing back up towards Missouri. One of our big problems out here in the Trans-Mississippi area is that the troops we're using are not experienced. These are brand new troops, and Curtis's men are now veteran troops. They've defeated the enemy a couple of times. The enemy, well, us. They've already defeated Van Dorn at Pea Ridge, of course, and it's a couple of other battles before the campaign starts. So, yeah, they're not new troops. Anyway, let's have a look what we've got going on here. It is a defensive situation for us. That suits us down to the ground. The Union are down here, just to the east of Eagle Creek. Now, the objective is Brownsroth's Ford. I guess we're going to set up a defense and see what happens. I'll cut back in once I've done that. Alright then, so I've set up some parapets here, just a small little line of parapets. We haven't got very much. I'm expecting him to come marching down this road. So the parapets here should be okay. I'm going to build a little breastwork here with Green's brigade. We've got the guns supporting this flank. I've got the cavalry here under Stan Wadey covering this bridge just in case they're going to come over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dismount them. And I'm going to build parapets here. And then once the parapets are built, I'll leave Tandy Walker down here and move Albert Pike up to support the main defense up the top there. And we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, I don't know if it's going to work out. I hope so. In terms of troops, let's have a look here. We've got Green's brigade, first battle for them, Springfield Muskets. We've got Maxey's brigade, again, first battle, Springfield Muskets. Then we have Whitewood's brigade, who do have experience. I thought they were involved in the previous battle, and they had been, even though it didn't tell it in the history. But we've got them here, and they're on Springfield Rifle Muskets. This is the Yell County Rifle, so Richard T. Whitewood in command. This is a viewer-requested unit. And then, of course, we've got the Indian troops down here. Okay, so I'm going to dismount these guys as soon as the battle starts, and we're going to start digging breastworks. We're also going to make a start of some breastworks with Green's brigade. And, you know, if they start swinging around from this way, we can always reposition and put some men on this fence line, which, you know, will be handy. And there's also this half-finished railroad, or maybe it's a real railroad track, I'm not sure. But either way, it'll make for some cover. So if we need to pull back, we will. If they attack from this right-hand flank, we should hopefully see them coming, and we can redeploy this way as well. And this is a big, nasty slope for them to come up. We'll see how it goes. I mean, hopefully the AI won't rip us off too much with how resilient their troops are, because, I mean, if you've been watching, you'll know that we've had some problems with that in the past. Also difficult to get the right placement with these sometimes, just simply because of the way the user interface works out. But look at them digging. Building. It's already 1600 hours, so I mean, we're near the end of the first day to start with. Majority of the fighting will happen tomorrow, I would think. And the cavalry have finished constructing these, so I'm going to move one of these brigades away, like I said. Let's mount Pike up. Only mixed weapons for these guys. And let's pull them up. I'm going to keep them here, like kind of in reserve, so we can also be able to see them coming if the Union comes down this way. Let's send out some skirmishers from Green. Just see if we can see anything. Send Maxi skirmishers off to the left just to see if they're coming from that way, because that would obviously create a little bit of a problem because we'd have to move quickly. So we've got Tandy Walker. He's going to watch this ford. So no sign yet. Our skirmishers have moved out, but we've not detected any Union movement. Whitewood skirmishers coming out now as well. I'm going to send them over this way just to watch this ford. And there we are. We spotted some guys. Let's call back Green's skirmishers. Bring Maxi skirmishers in also. I suspect their main forces, they're going to come and press us down here. What's this? Why are they there? All I'd like to do is move Pike's cavalry brigade up to the left. That's it. Nothing else. Just that. Just trying to give these guys some problems with our skirmishers. End of the first day. That's annoying. Just when we're giving that artillery battery a bit of a pasting. Alright. That's fine. So I haven't really changed much. I've just moved the cavalry across. I'm going to keep Walker in reserve. Pike's cavalry over here. Mixed weapons, so they're really short range on them. But, you know, we'll see what they can do. Let's get started with day 2. So their artillery can hit us, of course, but we can't hit shit with our men from the top of this hill. It's just what I should be used to by now. Oh, and this damn brigade is moving in front of them, so they can't even fire. Brigade, well, the skirmishers. We are sacrificing our skirmishers a little bit here, but it's giving us time to build some breastworks over on the right. We're on top of this hill. Why the hell can we not hit anything down here? would like to see us at least break this artillery division. Yeah, battery. Nope. Not even going to happen. More than 50% casualties, and they are not bothered in the slightest. The enemy resilience on this, I know I complain about it often, but it's crazy. I mean, like 90 casualties, 65 men left standing. They're not going nowhere. Okay, let's pull them out. Waste of time. Complete waste of time. Okay, Whitewood, let's hold this now. So I'm gonna put Maxie's brigade here on the flank. Hopefully that's going to give these guys some problems. Let's get Tandy Walker involved on the other flank. Be strong, Thomas Green. Hold fast. See if we can't get these guns into some close range blasting here. Come on, CS, move it. What are they doing? Get moving. Why on earth have you gone through the damn woods, you friggin' idiots? Oh, this is going to be another disaster because it's just stupid. 300 casualties and air flashing. 300 casualties and air flashing. One shot they got off and ran away. Oh, Jesus, honestly. They're retreating, I mean, but this is another joke of a battle, really. I mean, what the hell happened there? 8 casualties in there, broken and running. They didn't even do anything. Didn't even get involved. Ended up stuck in this flipping woods and nothing happened. I mean, oh, genuinely, this game really bugs me sometimes, and I know I complain a lot. Tandy Walk, 150 casualties, flashing in panic. Why? Anyway, see if Pike can ride down some of these troops for us and cause some more casualties. Whitewood did a nice job there. So Green actually broke as well, 393 casualties. But that's the thing with this game. I mean, I know they try hard to convey some sort of realism, but it's still not realistic. Well, at least we managed to get some sort of revenge on this army that trounced us last time. We should be hacking these units to pieces. Taking prisoners. It is what it is. I mean, it could have gone better, but it could definitely have gone worse as well. Never mind. $1,600 losses for us. We can ill afford that in the Trans-Mississippi. 2,500 for them. They did lose all their guns. Hopefully we captured some equipment, which will be nice. And it does count as a major victory, which will be good for morale, of course. Hopefully we'll now see these Union troops skedaddle back to the north, back into Missouri, hopefully. The Polignacs become famous. Nice. The other artillery commander did not become famous, dare I say. Cavalry performed reasonably well. Bit annoying, Tandy Walker's guys were flashing away there, but you know. Colonel Conrad loses face. I think that must be one of their guys. I guess. I'm not sure. Let's have a little look at the battle report. They suffered 2,537 casualties, 285 killed, 681 captured. We lost 1,600 men, 249 killed, 288 missing, the rest were wounded. Morale's confidence, supply mediocre. Captured 1,300 rifles and 21 guns. 600 casualty enemy soldiers being taken to our POW camps. So, I mean, like I say, it could have been worse, but I mean, it wasn't good either. Let's have a quick look at the weapons. What did we get here? Anything good? We need some weapons. Some 3-inch ordnance rifles, nice. And some more parrots, excellent. In terms of other weapons here, nothing really. Don't think we captured anything to speak of. Rifles wise. Not even Springfield muskets, what the hell? Okay, well, that's that. Let's have a quick look at Beauregard's army. He's caught around 1,400 wounded people, and we're unhappy. Who's causing this unhappiness? Pike's Indian Brigade is unhappy with Pike. Low fame and leadership. Well, you just have to suck that up, I'm afraid. Because that's just the way it is. And anyway, you've got 1 star, and he's got 1 star. Just relax. Sears performed terribly. I think we'll be placing him maybe, but I'm not sure. The Polignac, on the other hand, became famous. Let's give him promotion. To take one of his cunning off. I don't really know why it does that. Like, what for what reason would you lose a cunning skill point for going from lieutenant colonel to colonel? Again, it doesn't really make that much sense to me, but what can you do? Nothing is the answer. So where are these guys going to go? So we've got Lovell down here. So Lovell and Beauregard. I think I'm going to group these guys together. We'll move time on a little bit. If we can group these guys together, and if there's not huge amounts of troops up here, maybe an invasion of Missouri is not off the cards. I'd like to take a quick look at the front lines. It's still all in our control, so I mean, where are they going to retreat to, I wonder? They're teleporting nice and quick. Real quick. Just crossing the river, yeah, no problem, because our gunboats there wouldn't stop them. I mean, why would they? Why would they, eh? Let's move him off into Little Rock, and hopefully he can resupply from the Little Rock depot. The Yale Colony Rifles there inflicted 737 casualties on the enemy. They did lose 425 men, but that's not too bad. Green, 393 casualties, 423 inflicted. Maxey, 510 suffered and 493. They were the ones I moved out onto that flank, but didn't quite work out like I wanted it to. Pike's troops inflicted 215, suffered 137. Walker, 155 lost, 154 inflicted, pretty bad. Sears, I mean, they lost 8 men, ran away. De Polignac, they inflicted 47 casualties. Not bad, that actually, from range. That's in McCullough's Texas division. Made up of Maxey's brigade from Texas, Green's brigade from Texas, and Whitewood's guys from Arkansas. So it's not really a Texas brigade, but close enough. The artillery is also from Texas. And then all Indian Territory troops here in Whaley's division. Not sure what Leon Smith's doing, going all the way from there, from Texas across towards Florida. I mean, that seems a bit crazy. Why would you not go to New Orleans? Alright, so the Army of the Southwest is retreating all the way up the Mississippi River here. I mean, where the heck are they going to go to? Again, they've just gone straight past our fleet. How could they be marching through our territory? How fast are they going as well? So hang on, let's just have a look here. So in the space of 2 days, they've gone from here to here over some of the worst terrain you could imagine. And we've issued bonds again. What I really need, I need the organisation reform to hurry up and be selectable, because I need to make a proper army in the Trans-Mississippi, and I need to make another army in Virginia, but it's just taking so long. Ludicrous how long it takes actually for the organisation reform, which, I mean, we're still miles off. How could it cost $3.5 million to reform into the core system when we've already got it in the field? That's the worst part about it. We've already actually got it. You just can't make it because officially we haven't. So I think I'm going to keep Lovell at Little Rock. I'm going to move Van Dorn back up towards Carlton. Army of the Southwest is now moving somewhere else, but I don't know where. Just wherever they fancy teleporting to, I guess. We could instigate another large battle here towards Nashville. I would like to take Nashville, but I don't know where the other Union forces are. Is this everyone up here? But I don't know. It would leave us very open if we start moving across with everyone. We do have fewer than 15,000 men here. I'm going to set us off to constructing a depot. I think we need a depot near the front lines. We haven't got anything up here. I mean, it's money we haven't got, of course. The closest we have is at Decatur, Alabama. And that's quite some way for the supplies to come, not to mention it's under threat. So look at the speed that your armies move at. So Beauregard has gone from here to here in this time. And think how quickly, bear in mind I had that on times 50, think how quickly the Union army got from down here all the way up to, I don't even know where the hell they are now, but farther to the north. Diplomacy 2. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead with government funding 2. Getting close on British rifles, that's good. I've moved out the troops from the Mississippi District to reinforce the main armies. So I've given one unit off to the East Tennessee Army under Kirby Smith, who... Let's have a quick look. They're going to be at 14,300 men, so that is enough to possibly take these guys on up here. Possibly. Definitely going to give us some more options. Then I've moved out some of the other guys into the Army of Tennessee, of course, which really needed reinforcing. So we'll have a quick look at the Army of Tennessee. That's going to be up to 57,000 men. So that's a substantial force. I need to reorganize Field's Cavalry Corps once that gets into place. I'm going to move out, like I said, I'm going to move these two little cavalry brigades. They're going to join these corps. So Greg's corps is going to get one. And Hardy's corps is also going to get one. Alright, let's move time a little. Fort Gibson besieged. Oh. Bad news. I mean, he's still barely moved. Not much of a garrison at Fort Gibson. 388 men. I mean, seems unlikely to be able to do anything. David Hunter with his Army of the West, 5,600 men. Looks like a couple of infantry brigades and some artillery. So, I mean, it's a fair, decent force. Now, our sieges are taken forever and ever. Fort Monroe's at 77% chance of victory. Fort Thompson at 55%. Just going to move Jackson up the valley a little bit, or down the valley, I think you call it when you go north. But we're going to see if we can recapture these farms and maybe threaten Strasbourg. Let's see how it happens here. So I'm thinking maybe we'll push on this 5th Corps, see if we can push them out of this part of Virginia. We've got Eugene's Corps here with 8,000 men, and Longstreet with the 2nd Corps, and the 3rd Corps under Smith. They've got a perk as well. I'm going to go ahead and give them Ambulance Corps. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what happens here. I suppose if they've got endless reinforcements, we'll just not push it on. Okay, let's get going. Yeah, so it's just the 5th Corps. We're going to start with the 2nd Corps in the field. UG score is going to be 2 hours. Reserve Corps 1 hour, and I'm sure the headquarters will actually start on the pitch. On the battlefield, but you know, we'll see how that is. Let's get this loaded in. We're facing Banks with the 5th Corps. This is the way we need to fight the Union. We need to fight them in smaller. We need to capture their core, like isolated and push at them, rather than facing them as a whole, because we haven't got the manpower that they have. Well, let's see if we can do Banks over here. That'd be nice if we could. And it's even a defensive situation for us. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. We start in the field. I'm not going to fight this battle in today's episode. We're just going to look over it and see what we've got. And we'll be fighting this on the next episode. We start with Longstreet on the field. Let's have a quick look at the order of battle, actually. That'll be easier. We'll start with Longstreet and Smith. UG is 2 hours away. And obviously the headquarter troops on there, Pendleton and Jeb Stuart. So that's not too bad. So we're waiting on about 8,000 men under UG. It is the Chancellorsville battlefield. And that is grim news, because this is a grim map. We're fighting at the Orange Turnpike and Morrison's farm, homestead, whatever you want to call it, near the Zion Church. The Union under Banks are coming in this top corner, so they've got some marching to do. We'll set up some defenses, and I'll do that between episodes. I'll see you back in the next one, I hope. If you're new here, why not hit subscribe? If you're not new here, but you've been here for a while, why not hit the notification bell? But either way, I appreciate anybody who watches the videos, anyone who subscribes, anyone who wants to interact on Discord or on YouTube. I'll put a link to the Discord channel in a pinned comment. And hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. Ta-ra for now.